Alright, buckle up, 'cause I'm about to tell you a story, and trust me, it's a doozy. It all started back when I was just a college kid, a young woman named Rosie. My folks, bless their hearts, they just wanted the best for me. So they married me off to a guy named Mike. He worked for some private company, nothing fancy, but it was a living. Now, things were fine for a couple of years, but then, about 3 years in, Mike and I started having this one big argument, over and over. See, we couldn't have kids, and he'd always throw it in my face, saying it was my fault, my bad luck, that God just didn't want us to have a family. He'd call me barren, and stuff like that. Honestly, it just broke my heart every time. I was an only child, you know, my parents' say, little princess. So I went to them. They were like, Rosie, honey, there are so many kids out there who need a home. Why don't you try to adopt, find an orphan, or maybe a kid whose parents just can't afford to raise them? You could give them a loving home, a good life, and fill that void. And you know what? That's exactly what I did. I searched and searched, and finally, I found this amazing little boy. I raised him, put him through school, then college. He grew up into a fine young man. Then, out of nowhere, Mike got sick. We tried everything, took him to all sorts of doctors, but it was no use. He left us. And just like that, it was my son, Leo, and me against the world. But here's where things get wild. When Leo hit college, when he really started coming into his own, I couldn't control him anymore. He'd just ignore me, hanging out with all the wrong crowds, staying out late. I tried to keep him on the straight and narrow, tried to make him a good kid, but it was like he was a wild horse. He'd come home at all hours, then just sit on his phone, glued to the computer all night. No schedule, no routine, just a total mess. And when I tried to lay down the law, tried to discipline him, he'd just flip the script on me. He'd say, if you were my real mom, you wouldn't talk to me like this. You're just my stepmom. That's why you're so harsh, so strict. It's too much. And I'd look at him, my heart breaking, and say, look, kiddo, maybe I didn't carry you in my belly, but I've raised you like my own son, given you everything. Your dad, bless his soul, he left us too soon, and you're all I have. I never had any other kids. I've been raising you to be a good man, and this is how you repay me. He'd usually say, okay, I messed up. Forgive me, Mom. But listen, I'm grown now. Don't treat me like a little kid anymore. From now on, you're gonna listen to me. Can you believe that? My adopted son telling me what to do. So, I just had to swallow it. We kept going. Mike's old company had given me a lump sum, so we had that in the bank. And my parents, bless their hearts again, they were well off and always helped us out with money whenever we needed it. They loved me, their only daughter, and always had my back. But you know, when fate's got a different plan for you. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do. Then one night, Leo calls me into his room, says his stomach hurts. I rush in, asking him what's wrong. He's like, it's right here, on the side. Doctors are closed this late. What are we gonna do? So I tell him, hold on, I've got some medicine in my room. Maybe it'll help. God willing, you'll feel better. I went to him, like any mother would, ready to take care of her sick child. But then he grabbed me, hard, and he said, listen, for all these years, I thought of you as my mom, but you're not. I know who my real parents are now, and after tonight, I'm never calling you mom again. Yeah, you raised me, but you're not my birth mother. I want you to live your life the way I tell you to. You can find another husband if you want, but if not, then you're gonna do everything I say, whenever I say it. I was like, what in the world is he talking about? What's his game? So I played along. Okay, fine. What do you want? And then he said, look, I don't like seeing you alone all the time. If you do what I say, it'll be good for both of us. I was stunned. Leo, even if you're not my flesh and blood, I've raised you as my son. How can you say something like this? I never expected this from you. Is this how I taught you? Is this how you're repay? Eyeing me? He just kept going. No, it's just seeing you, your life, everything. It just mesmerizes me. I don't care about anyone else. I really like you. If you go along with me, it'll be good for both of us. Since you're not gonna leave this house, or me, and you're not gonna get married again, you need something in your life. He tried to convince me, really pushed it. For a day or two, I thought about it. And then, his eyes, the way he looked at me, his whole demeanor, it was just so strange. I was shocked beyond belief, something I couldn't even tell anyone. Eventually, I don't know why, but I felt a strange softening in my heart. I wanted to see what he would do. Then, one afternoon, he looked at me and said, "So, remember that offer I made you the other day? What's your decision?" I looked back at him and said, "Look, whatever you think is best, you do it. I don't care about anything else. Just make sure the neighbors don't find out, that no one in the neighborhood knows." And when I said that, he understood. He knew I was on board. He got bold, called me close. "Listen," he said. "All this time, I've called you Mom. But I didn't really know you. From now on, I'm never calling you Mom again. You're not my birth mother. My real parents are alive. They're just poor, and they gave me to you to raise. So yeah, you can think of me as your son, but I'm not thinking of you as my mom anymore. Tell me, will you give me what I want now?" I thought about my life, my youth, how it was all just slipping away since Mike was gone. And he wanted this so badly, so I said, "Okay, if that's what you want." I agreed to his terms. He said, "Great. Tonight, when I come home, no separate rooms. We'll sleep in the same bed, in the same room, okay?" I nodded. "Okay. But there's a condition," I said. He asked, "What condition?" I told him, "Once this happens between us, you can't stay in my room. You'll go back to your own room, and I'll stay in mine. What if someone finds out? What if they figure it out? We won't be able to stay in this house. People will judge us. There'll be no honor left. Please, don't do something that's stupid." He agreed to that. That night, when he came home, he called out from the gate, laughing, "Rosie, is dinner ready?" And for a second, I thought it was Mike calling me. I just smiled and said, "Of course, dinner's ready. Come on in and eat." He probably bought something for me on the way, I don't know. But he was so happy, so excited that I'd agreed to his proposal. So we ate. Around 11 o'clock, I was getting ready for bed in my room, not calling him. And then he just came in, threw his pillow on my bed, and said, "All right, from now on, this is where we're staying." We lay there for a couple of days, just talking. It was so awkward, like, what was happening was just wrong. Then I turned off the light. I can't sleep without a fan, especially in the summer, but he was like, "Why do you have the fan so loud? It's making too much noise." I told him, "Look, I'm a big woman, I need the fan." Then he started, and that night, it happened twice. He was different. Mike had never been like that. He was young, strong, and it was good. And from that day on, our lives just twisted, took a turn. We kept going on like that, day after day. So friends, I don't know if you've ever read about something like this in history books, or heard it from anyone else. But this is my story. I took in an orphan, claiming him as my own son when I couldn't have children. I raised him with love, educated him, opened his eyes to the world. And in the end, this is what I got. This is what I'm sharing with you today. From that day on, I just kept giving myself to him, day after day, and he kept taking. He tells me he'll never get married, that this is how we'll live. And we are. I never left my husband's home, my in-laws' place. So, if you've ever known anything like this, from history or from your own life, or if you've just heard about it, tell me what you think in the comments. And hey, if you liked my story, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and share it so others can hear it too. I'll be back with more stories, so take care of yourselves until then. Thanks.